friends. We are using a hands-free device. We are headed to La Jolla Cove. We just left La Jolla Shores. I don't know why my intro says Harbor Island. We are not at Harbor Island. There are a lot of potholes in the street. So at this corner, Avenida de la Playa, if you turn down there, you will see the shopping district. That is not the best route to the beach because it gets very congested. If you wanted to go to La Jolla Shores, check the map, check the smaller side streets. If we were going to go to the freeway, we would head to the left, but we are going to downtown La Jolla, so we will head towards the right at the fork. And if you are going to be driving in this area, pay attention, use caution, don't be in a rush because the traffic can stop suddenly. Welcome, welcome. We're driving to La Jolla Cove using a hands-free device. And we are right at Torrey Pines Road. We're going to be going on to Torrey Pines Road, and then we're going to just do a drive down to the cove. And we are just kind of cruising around. I was at La Jolla Shores a bit ago, checking out the surfers. There were tons of shells, interesting sights to see over there this morning. It was cold and misty, so it is not crowded, which is interesting for Memorial Day. There were people also with their bonfires started already, which sounds like an excellent idea. Nice hot cup of coffee by the campfire. You are not allowed to camp overnight at La Jolla Shores, but you can get there early and start setting up. You need to have a pit if you are going to have a bonfire. So usually people will scope out the area early and sit by a pit in order to be able to use it later in the day. There are not a lot of pits there, and the pit is basically a concrete square that you will be allowed to build your bonfire in. This area can get very congested. Excuse me. The sea air tickled my nose. So here we're going to be going to La Jolla Cove. We're going to be heading towards downtown La Jolla. You can follow the signs on the side that tell you which way to turn for La Jolla Cove. And if you're not familiar with the area, just take your time, pay attention to the signs. This area is the downtown area of La Jolla. And here is Prospect Place. Again, pay attention to the street signs. Take your time, watch for pedestrians. This is typically a great tourist attraction, so you could be driving around in areas that people are not familiar. So what we are going to do is we're going to take the right side of the fork, and that is going to go down to Coast Boulevard and Cave Street. You will see to the left there is a fire lane. You are to keep the fire lane clear, and you will need to drive cautiously down this, and there is the ocean. There is the, what's it called? Sunny Jim's Sea Cave Curio Gift Shop. There you can go to access the cave. The cave goes underneath the shop and leads out to the ocean. And you will see, I mean, depending how high the tide is, you can go out into the cave farther or not so far. So, of course, here parking is a premium. So typically you're not just going to roll up and grab a parking spot. Be mindful of the driveways. Do not block somebody's driveway. You will get a ticket. You will get towed. Pay attention to the signs. 3-hour parking limit, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Again, take your time coming down here. Don't go whipping through because there's going to be people wandering around. There's going to be people coming and going out of their cars. There's going to be people trying to exit parking spaces. And then to the right below us is the cove where the seals are living. Seals are, oh, and this person is going the wrong way. Do not come in to this area. You're driving, it's a one-way street. So we'll see if we can find parking, but it's looking doubtful. And this area is La Jolla Cove. And then just to make things more interesting, there's even a trash truck here today. So be mindful of people behind you, but don't get nervous and just try to hurry through here because you could potentially hit a person or another car. But as you can see, the parking is a premium. Read all the regulations, abide by the rules. This is La Jolla Cove area, and we are going on Coast Boulevard now. Again, parking is a premium, so... Oh wow, there's even a food truck. Shawarma food truck. Again, using a hands-free device. We are above La Jolla Cove. Coast Cove, San Diego. And they do have part of it blocked off. It looks like a collapse of some sort. That could have been there. Again, pay attention to the signs. Don't just park anywhere because you could potentially get towed away or get a ticket. There are some spaces here, but they're too small for my car. So it doesn't look like we'll be able to park. But you can see the skyline, the ocean. As you get to area like near the corner, make sure you slow down, watch for pedestrians. You don't want to run anybody over. Sometimes people not familiar with the area could potentially wander out into... Oh, this is a children's pool. Sorry about that. This is where... I think we're going to have a parking space if this guy's leaving. You guys... Okay, so the guy behind me is trying to go around me. Don't be that person. Be courteous. I have my blinker on. He knows I'm trying to park. So why drive around me when the person that is leaving the parking space needs your courtesy to allow them to get out of the parking area, right? So don't be that person. Okay, so cautiously. We've got 3 hours, but we are not going to be here 3 hours. Okay, I'm not going to pause you because I think I've used up all my pause options. So I'm just going to grab my purse and look at the seals. This is the children's pool, and I will show you once we get out there what I am talking about. Sorry, I'm trying to... There we go. Okay, friends. Bear with me while I get out. Close your eyes if you get seasick, because I'm going to be whipping around a bit. Okay, friends, this is the La Jolla Cove area of La Jolla, San Diego. See these little charms on the cement? That is so that skateboarders or people on scooters do not ride the edge and chip off the cement. So let's go over to this area. There's nobody here, but you can still see a view of the ocean. And some of the caves down below. See that? Isn't that pretty? Oh my God, so pretty. Oh, literally could stand here for hours listening to the water. There's seagulls, pigeons. You're going to see all kind of wildlife. There might even be squirrels. I see a hole in the ground where a squirrel might live. So imagine just coming down here, hanging out. See this little building? You can sit in there and read a book, chill out. And here is the ocean. That is the Pacific Ocean. You can see the skyline or the coastline. And you can see the Scripps Pier way over there. Let me zoom in. That's where we just were earlier. See the pier right here. Let me see. Where's my finger? Right there is the pier. So that's Scripps Pier. It is part of the Scripps Institute of Oceanography. We are on Coast Boulevard near the children's pool of La Jolla, California. Do you see this jetty kind of coming out? You can walk out on that jetty. It is man-made. That area inside of the jetty is the children's pool. So that was initially as a calming wall to kind of calm the waves in the children's pool to allow the children to have a more calm area to experience the ocean. So let's walk that way. Oh yes, you can see the seals and the seagulls. Now they have a rope up because people do not... Oh, there's a squirrel. Where'd he go? There he goes. Because people do not have the sense to leave wild animals alone. They are wild animals. They have their babies there, and they will attack you to protect their babies. I think there's also some out in the ocean. You can see them bobbing up and down. So you can see that area is much more calm as far as the ocean current. So that would be a perfect place for kids to just kind of go in and out of the water, enjoy the water. But with the seals there, you're not going to be able to access that. There is a rope that basically, and there's signs up that say don't go over there, because people, again, don't have the common sense to leave the wild animals alone. They think it's cute to go and take a photo with them and whatever. I mean, like next to them, trying to pet them. Hold your camera up, take a selfie with them way far away from you in the background. That's awesome. But don't try to go up there and pet them. They're not tame animals. They will bite you. They will chase you. They're protecting their babies. I did see another one bobbing around in the water, but I don't know what would prompt them to go in and out of the water. All right, let's walk over here. They do have benches here. You could sit here for hours and watch, which I think we will do. But you can also walk out on that jetty, that structure. You can walk out there. You do have to be careful because it is slippery. Now see, there's a nice polite lady who has gone down the stairs to get closer to the seals. Perfectly acceptable. She's behind the road. Oh, it is cold up here, guys. And it feels like the mist is going to start up again. Okay, here comes a bunch of screaming children. So you can see that seawall kind of where you could walk out onto. Sometimes when the tide is in, the waves will come up over that structure. I mean, it makes for a great photo spot. See that couple down there taking a photo, because if you're doing like he is, you're at the end and you have someone facing towards you, the backdrop is amazing. It's going to be the shoreline, the beach, the cave, the waves. Awesome. I think the kids might be on a science expedition or something. Somebody's explaining to them about the seals and the sea lions. Now this spot, I think they are all seals. I'm not 100% sure. But it's cute because you watch and then you see one of them kind of poke their head up like, hey, what's going on? Oh, and sometimes you watch in the water, you could see one bobbing up and down. There's a nose popping in and out of the water. I don't really know what would prompt them to get out of the water or go back in the water. Now, obviously, the ones up there right now are sunbathing. I think that seals do sleep in the ocean. So these guys might just be out to just take a little break. Oh, you could see that one bobbing in and out of the water. Let me see. See him right here? Yeah. Oh, sorry, it's going to be grainy because zooming in. But this is Jolla Cove. And this is the children's pool area of the shoreline. The children's pool area was established using that structure that's built there along the shore. And that is to calm the area so that the waves are not coming in so strong. And it used to be that this would be filled with kids, but then the seals and sea lions came about and they are protected, so the area is roped off, so nobody can go in there. Now it's perfectly acceptable to go down onto the beach and take photos when you're closer, but they are wild animals. They should not be touched, or people would try to go up and take pictures with them, like literally right next to them, trying to touch them, sit on them, whatever. There actually was a viral video once that showed a little girl throwing stuff at the animals. So that's why they have a rope now, so that people don't go over to them. Oh, look at that little one scurrying along. And I say little one, it could very well be an adult, but it looks little or young to me, so. So this is a great way to start my day. I live here in San Diego County, and we are here at La Jolla Beach, and this area of La Jolla is called La Jolla Cove. We are near Coast Boulevard, and this specific area is the children's pool. And it is cold here today, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know the temperature, but it's cold. That little one is, I don't know what he's doing. Looks like he's trying to make a little spot for himself in the sand. He wiggles around and turns in circles and then readjusts. See him? So cute. So if you come down here, you are allowed to walk out on the structure there. I don't know the formal name of it. It's like a seawall. It was built to calm the waves in the area because this was to be dedicated to the children of La Jolla so that they would have a nice calm area for swimming. But then the area started to be populated by the seals. So now when the seals are there, which is pretty much all year long, it is roped off so that people do not bother the seals. And so the children will have to go to a different beach. So you can walk all the way out on that kind of seawall structure. Take photos. Just be mindful of the tide because the tide will come up and the waves can splash over that seawall. There's railings, but I wouldn't be out there if it was high tide. And you can check online for the tide charts, and then you would know when is high and low tide. It's going to be obvious during certain times of the day because the water will be higher up on the edge of the wall or even on the shore of the beach. But if you wanted to plan a specific time to come down here, either at high tide or low tide, then you would be able to see the how high the water gets against that seawall. This is La Jolla, and it is gloomy and cold. We are on the west coast. This is La Jolla, California, in San Diego County. You are allowed to go down onto the beach. You are not allowed to pass that rope. So you definitely can go down there, but the animals are protected because people would literally walk right up to them, try to touch them, pet them, take photos. And the animals react with their natural instinct of protection, and it could end your day in a not so fun way. So in order to protect the animals and protect the people from their inability to make good decisions, the animals are roped off. There is a rope at the upper part of the beach, right where those people are standing. So you can walk down there onto the beach. There are stairs that you can walk onto the beach. but you cannot walk up to the animals, and there's really no reason to. They're there resting, taking care of their babies, taking a break, just living their best life. They don't need to have people interrupting them. Is my focus off? I had a bunch of mist on the camera before, so it looks like we're good now. It's fine. And then you see there is one little seal bobbing up and down in the water. He apparently has decided he still wants to swim, so he didn't get out. I don't even know how long these guys have been up here resting. But this is Jolla Cove area, the children's pool area, and these are the seals. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate it. Thank you for the likes. We are at Jolla Cove, the children's pool area in La Jolla, California. And I'm just sitting here relaxing, watching the seals. They live at this beach. And you can see there is a rope. They are roped off so that people cannot go down there and bother them. There are stairs. You are allowed to go down onto the beach. You just may not go past that rope. I mean, honestly, that's close enough. You can see the seals well enough from that distance, and that way they are protected. You are allowed to also walk out on that wall. Watch the tide, check the tide, when is high tide, when is low tide. If you want to plan and come out here when it is high tide and go out there and get splashed, I mean, that's fine, just be aware. If you stand at the end and kind of face, you face west and have somebody taking your picture facing east, you'll have a beautiful black backdrop behind, because you can see the shoreline is right here. So you can see that there would be waves and the shoreline and different structures. You can end up taking some really nice photos. But you are allowed to go down onto the beach. You just may not approach the seals. There is a rope, safety barrier to protect you and the animals. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate it. We are here at the children's pool in La Jolla, California. There's all kind of wildlife. There's a little squirrel down here rolling around in the dirt. There's seagulls. See this little guy? Oh, he's behind the rock, but you can see him taking a little dust bath. Looks like he found something to eat. So he lives in this cliff. There's little squirrel burrows all over the place. And then over here we see there's a little seal bobbing up and down in the water. And then the rest of them are there resting on the beach. Thank you for the likes. Maybe we'll get to 1,000. And then it looks like there is a group of kids. They were over here looking at the seals, and now they've gone onto that structure. So you are allowed to go onto that structure. Just pay attention to the tide so that you can be aware. If you want to get splashed, you can certainly stay out there. You'll get splashed, but be aware so that you don't end up getting hit by a giant wave. So you are allowed to go down onto that beach with the seals, but you are not allowed to pass the rope barrier. There is a rope barrier that is to protect you and to protect the seals. That is the safe distance marker. The seals do have their pups over here during pupping season. So you know there will be people coming over here trying to get close to the seals, going down there, petting them, touching them, taking pictures with them. Not a good idea, not safe. The seals will try to protect themselves and protect their babies. So to whatever extent they need to do that, they will. Thank you for the likes. Just a few more and we'll be over 1,000. All right, let's move a little bit more south. Hold on.
We have a lot of black too.
See all the seagulls? So you can see you're allowed to go down onto the beach. There's just a rope and a sign that tells you to not go past the rope. And that is to protect you and to protect the animals. You can see the way that the rock formations are happening from the waves crashing. If you stay long enough, you will see as the tide is coming in and going out. That's pretty fun. You are allowed to go onto that structure. You just walk over here on the left side of this building and you will find the access to go down to that seawall. Of course, there's water on that all the time, so be careful. Could be slippery. And we have another bench here, so I'm going to take advantage, sit down so I have a little bit more stability. Thank you for the likes, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you. Keep them coming. Love it. So we are here at the children's pool in La Jolla, California. And this is where the seals in this area come for pupping season. So you can see them there. I don't think it's pupping season right now. There are some smaller seals out there, but I couldn't really say what the age is. But you are allowed to go down onto the beach. You just may not pass that rope. There's a rope because people don't use their sense and they will try to walk up and pet the seals, and I've even seen somebody try to sit on them. That is like ridiculous. Oh, here comes some more up out of the water. So they sometimes will stay right there on the shoreline, but here comes one coming up. Let's see if they get out of the water. Like they're gonna body surf up onto the shore. And then some of them just stay kind of bobbing around in the kelp beds. Those dark things are the kelp beds. Look at, he's just kind of laying there, sticking his face still in the water. Thank you for the likes, guys. Ooh, I don't know how. Well, I know seals have a lot of blubber, so that's how they can be out there in that water so cold. So that little guy is just hanging out there. Maybe he's looking for his buddies on the beach. You could see there's a bunch of seals laying there just resting on the beach. Oh, and he decided to go back in the water. Oh, here comes. I don't know if that's the same one. Maybe he wanted a bit of a boost. Oh, that one looks bigger. So you are allowed to go down onto the beach, but you are not allowed to go past that rope. There is a rope barrier to protect the animals from people coming down, trying to pet them and sit on them and take pictures with them. Thanks for sharing the live. Appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Just hanging out here at the children's pool in La Jolla, California. You'd think it would be a beautiful day for the beach, but it is actually pretty cold down here. I'm wearing shorts and sandals, but I'm also wearing a fleece jacket. That's typical California. Just wear your flip-flops and your shorts and then wear a jacket, sweatshirt, hoodie, t-shirt, whatever. So this area is the children's pool, and you see that structure out there that was built to make this area calm as far as the waves go, so that children could come here and play. That structure goes back a long time. I'm thinking maybe the 40s and 50s. So they built that structure and then dedicated this beach to the children of La Jolla. But then probably in the 90s, the seals started to come and live over here. So then it became necessary to rope off that beach so that people do not go bother the seals. During pupping season, they do come up here and bring their babies, so that's a fun time to visit. But people do go down there and bother them, touch them, pet them, sit on them, throw stuff at them. So that's why it's necessary to rope off the area to protect people from their own bad decisions and to protect the animals from the people. It's a hot one in Georgia? No way, man. It is freezing over here. Well, not literally freezing, but it is very cold. I would guess 70 degrees. But then there's a breeze, and I'm by the ocean, so even colder. Look at this little one wiggling down to the... Well, I don't know what they're... Maybe they roll along the sand all crazy like that to scratch their skin, maybe? Thank you for the likes. Thank you guys. Yay, we're almost to 2,000. Welcome. We are here at the children's pool in La Jolla, California. You are allowed to go down onto the beach, but you are not allowed to go past that rope. The reason why is the seals are there and they are being protected from the humans. Sometimes people forget that these are wild animals, and if you go bother them and they feel that they are in danger, they will protect themselves and the people can get hurt. It seems like the tide is coming in a bit, but I'm not sure. I didn't check the tide schedule, so I don't know what time is high tide or low tide. So this building right here is a lifeguard tower. I don't know that they're really doing sea rescues from that lifeguard tower, but they would monitor and enforce any activity here on the beach, or if people tried to get crazy climbing on the other side of the railing on that seawall, go and advise them or save them if they ended up having an issue. The shoreline is right here, so I would imagine if there was a need for a rescue along this area, they could deploy from this building. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. So this is the children's pool area of La Jolla, California. We are right next to Coast Boulevard. If you use Google Earth, you can probably see that seawall out there. And you could also see the children's pool area. The children's pool area has a calming or a calmer current because of that seawall. And that is why it was built, to create a calm area for the children to play when they come to the beach. But then the seals came. So luckily today it doesn't really stink. Sometimes when you come it stinks a lot. I don't know what they've done for that, but it's gone right now. Maybe during the summer might get worse. But they are wild animals, so they're going to do their business wherever they need to. So you are allowed to go onto that seawall. To the left of that building, if you're facing out towards the ocean, to the left of that building there is a stairway, and you can go down that stairway to get to that little seawall and then walk out on the seawall. You can get some great pictures facing east, so you're west when you're on the seawall, and then facing east you're going to be able to take some great photos of the shoreline. So that's really nice. And then along these cliffs there's going to be seagulls, pigeons, squirrels, and then of course down by the ocean are the seals. And I believe these are all seals. I don't know their proper name. I know there's probably a million different types of seals, but whichever ones are common to the Southern California coastal area, that would be the ones that you're seeing right here. You are allowed to go down onto the beach, but you are not allowed to approach the animals. There is a rope there to protect you and the animals, because if the animals feel that they are in danger, they will protect themselves. And people tend to forget that they are wild animals, and they will go down there. They'll try to touch them. I've even seen people try to sit on them, throw stuff, pet them, take a picture with them. It's craziness. I mean, I can understand the excitement and the novelty, but it is really not a great idea to approach wild animals. And then that seawall, you can walk out on that seawall. It's kind of fun, like once the tide comes in and then the water is splashing up onto the seawall. You can see it a little bit, but just be aware so that you don't get caught and then you're soaking wet and cold. Or your phone gets whipped out of your hand by the wave. That would not be fun. Then you don't have your phone and you don't have a picture. So welcome. This is La Jolla, California, near San Diego. This is the coastline, and the area is the children's pool. We got super lucky. Right when we were driving up, there was a person leaving, so I just got that parking spot right there. So I said, let me get out and show you guys the children's pool at La Jolla. And then you can see the coastline. So this is the northern part of the coastline. That's going to be Torrey Pines. Even Carlsbad, you can't see that far, but on a clear day you could see even like way farther north. You're going to see Scripps Institute of Oceanography. You can see a little bit of green where the golf course is, Torrey Pines Golf Course. Let me zoom in. Where those trees kind of are, that's the golf course. If it was a really clear day, you could see the hang gliders coming off the cliff, and they float and fly on the current, the air current. And then you can see the neighborhood around here. Let me just pan around for you. And this is kind of like a traffic controlled area, so you're not going to be driving around like all crazy. There are some one-way streets, so you want to be mindful of the traffic or the street signs and such. I was just a little distracted because I see some boats out there. It looks like some people fishing. This is actually a really popular area for scuba diving. Usually people will launch from La Jolla Shores. There are scuba companies that will take you on tours. If you are a tourist, they have opportunities. You can take lessons and then go scuba diving. I don't know to what extent that is, but I believe there's also opportunity for snuba, which is something for people who are not experienced in scuba. But you can always Google that if you're planning a trip over here, and you could reach out to the vendors, find out what opportunities there are, what are the regulations, suggestions, stuff like that. And of course the price points. What are the price points? So it's interesting. It looks like there's a canoe way out there with 5 or 6 people in it. It's interesting. And then there's a couple fishing boats. But again, this is a children's pool. This is La Jolla, California. You are allowed to go down on the beach, but you are not allowed to go past that rope. There is a rope barrier to protect the animals from you and you from the animals. The animals are not going to charge up at you from the beach, but if people go under the rope or go near the animals may feel that they are in danger, and they would do what is their natural instinct to protect themselves. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. We are here in La Jolla, California. It is a gloomy, cold Memorial Day, which is serving me well because it is not too crowded and I got great parking. It is overcast, but if you are out, even on an overcast day, you need to be mindful and wear your sunscreen because you will get sunburned. Or there is an opportunity to get sunburned. Just because it's overcast doesn't mean that you won't get sunburned. So we're just kind of hanging out here watching the seals. Every now and then one will come scooting up on the beach. They are out there in the ocean, right within the kelp, kind of hanging out, living their best life. And then the ones up on the beach have just been there chilling. I don't know if they stay there the whole night or if they kind of go back into the water and hang out in the water when they're sleeping. I don't know that the predators would come up this close to the beach because there's a lot of obstacles. There's kelp, there's barnacles, not barnacles, there's rock structures and stuff down there. So I'm kind of thinking they might stay on the beach when they sleep just because they can totally relax. There's no predators that will come at them from the sky. Actually, that's a good point. Somebody just said, funny how the birds stay away from them. So you see there's like one or two in amongst the seals, but it looks like they generally stay away. Why? Because they know better. They have common sense. Thank you for the likes, you guys. Appreciate it. So you are allowed to go down onto the beach. There are stairs, and there are stairs on the other side of that building so that you can go out onto that seawall and get a view, go see like what is beyond that wall. But if you go down to this beach, you are not allowed to pass that rope barrier. There is a rope barrier to protect these seals from the people, and that way the people do not go bother them and end up having the seal come after them, trying to protect themselves. This is an area where the seals will come during pupping season, so you will see moms and babies on the beach. I honestly don't know when pupping season is. Okay, friends, I think we're going to end the live now, so thank you so much for hanging out with me. Again, we are at the children's pool in La Jolla, California, just a little bit south of La Jolla Cove.